Florida, Congresswoman Paulina Luna has been all over this, and she joins us now. Congresswoman, your colleague, the great representative from my state of Tennessee, Tim Burchett, he referred to this as a deep state classic. He seemed to insinuate that, yes, these videos are great, but they're not the real thing. They're not what you all have seen. What is your take on what we've seen so far, and is there more that we need to see?
I think that there's more that we need to see, but also, too, I think one of the most important things that Congress can do right now is stop working against what the American people want, what the administration wants in transparency, and to pass the UAP Disclosure Act, in addition to put out either temporary immunity or at least waiving people's ability to come forward and bring forward information if they do indeed have more regarding if this has been captured technology. Look, if you were to say this without this evidence being out there, people might think that you're crazy. But as you are seeing a lot of the work that we have done behind the scenes to declassify this, as well as President Trump's direction to order the release of these files, could not happen at any other time in U.S. history, Tommy. I just want to put out there that we had been trying so long and hard to release some of this information under the Biden administration, and it was not until President Trump put out the statement saying that he was going to declassify this that we saw an internal effort, not just from the CIA, but also from the FBI, Department of War, and yes, even ODNI, to actually track down some of this information. And so there, I think, is more information coming, but we are really focused on getting whistleblower protections so that we can see if there is any there to some of these now wild statements that some people have made in regards to, crashed and retrieved technology.
Some of the things that you have seen, I know that there aren't enough whistleblower protections, and I know a lot of this is still classified, so you're limited. But from the footage that you've seen, maybe more than the American people at this point, is there enough to suggest here that we've got non-human entities that we're dealing with?
What's interesting is all of the witnesses that we have talked to call these things interdimensional. So I won't speculate as to that other than, reaffirm what they have said. But Tommy, I will speak to something that has been released. So there was that illustration that was shown. If you look through the files, a lot of headlines have been posting it. It looks like a metallic sphere. And I will say that that was actually from a briefing that we got with the FBI. It was up until recently, up until it was declassified, an ongoing investigation because it was observed by contractors. And what I will say is that this is not something that's just made up. There were investigators looking into this extensively. But what was alarming to me specifically is the amount of effort and resistance that existed within the intelligence community to either prevent us from getting this information out to the American people or to try to discredit witnesses that had come forward with information, not to mention the release of their medical records to try to discredit them in the event of what happened with David Grush. And so I think that you'll concur and agree with me that whenever you have the federal government telling you you can't look at something, what to think, and that if you ask questions, you're crazy, I think that tells you about the angle and perspective that currently existed up until recently. And so, yes, this has been an interesting investigation. We've been on this for a while. Burchett's been really leading the charge on this since the beginning. But remember, there's still a lot that we face from within our own intelligence communities.
Wow. Well, Congresswoman, you've given us a lot to chew on here. I do believe we are in the age of disclosure, and I know that you and Congressman Burchett are working so hard to get the American people the answers. We always appreciate it. Thank you for your fearlessness in that endeavor.
God bless.
All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with Me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.